one play. It takes one game, right? It takes one goal to turn the season on its head.
It's a team that picked up a win over Mount St. Mary's at the end of September, and since then they're without a goal here in the month of October after a bye week and being shut out in back-to-back matches. It's Manhattan who's got it right here off the start. Played across, trying to get that ball into the box for Yeboah. Trying to get it back outside, but it's intercepted. Well done by Charlie Hare out of England. These are both teams with heavy international presences. It's St. Peter's with 9 international players starting, Manhattan with 10 international players starting.
You know, when you get into these conference, getting into the tournament, doesn't matter where you're from.
No,
right?
Not at all.
It's I liked when I played and coached to have a lot of internationals on the team. The education level that it gave to the other kids and the experience it gave to them was priceless.
Right. Getting to really know somebody from somewhere where they might not be able to know where it is on a map necessarily, but they learn about their culture and learn about so many things about these other people that never have gotten the opportunity to learn. So, Bumalala. There's Sane. He's from the Gambia, Western African nation, who recently really thrived in international play. Got really far on the African Cup of Nations a couple years ago, and now back at AFCON. So, the Gambia on the rise, and maybe one day Sane will play a role there as well.
Every player's dream, right?
Right. No question about that.
Get to that national team.
And one player's gotten there on this Manhattan team, but unfortunately we won't be seeing him today. We'll get to that in just a moment. It's Musu on the corner kick. Loose in the box. Shot came from Denise. Not all the way out of the woods yet. Aki, a foul, and it's going the direction of St. Peter's. We mentioned it moments ago, but Gunnar Studenoff out today after 2 red cards on the year. So it's 2 separate suspensions. First of all, the red card suspension. You don't get to play the next game. And then if you have 2 red cards, it's another game. So it's a 2-game suspension now for Gunnar Studenoff, who missed the last game against Niagara.
And talk about a big loss. Leading scorer, true center forward, true 9. Big, strong, fast. Manhattan's going to miss him tonight.
Yeah, and Shannon, when we talked with Coach Jordan Scott before the game, he says, I think he's as quick as any player in Division I.
Which is something to be said for how big he is.
Yeah. Well, St. Peter's thrives off of these set pieces. Made some noise off the throw-in, but it's cleared and gathered by Henry Hamilton. Oh, well, he's taken down from behind. It's a heavy tackle from Paventi, but we play on. But back to Studenoff. Also plays for the Cayman Islands national team, which is ranked 198 by the FIFA World Rankings. But maybe he is that breath of new air to bring to that club and push them up the national rankings.
Well, you figure he's gonna have a lot of time playing there. Young enough.
Really can make an impact.
Yeah, typically don't hit your prime. Probably now. Typically in soccer is 28.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Might be a little older now with all the fitness advances and dietary advances that we made over the past couple of years, last decade.
So they've got a real chance here. I'd love to see him be that driving force for that island nation to really make some moves up the FIFA World Rankings. And who knows? I mean, I think a World Cup spot's a little out of the question, but some Nation League successes would be nice.
A couple CONCACAF goals.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Got the Gold Cup.
Nations League now too.
Yeah,
right?
they're actually playing in the Nations League right now, and I thought he might have been on International League, but he sticks with the team during season. So drops that ball off for Denise, but promptly cleared. Hamilton. Dispossessed by Clemson. Tom Clemson's been part of this team for a really long time. This is his 5th year with St. Peter's, and a player who has served as a real piece of steadiness for this program that's gotten to quite a few MAC tournaments in recent years.
Yeah, and you talk about the 5 years in, that with COVID and all the things went on with that, but just gives more experience to him, and every experience you have just makes you a better leader.
Exactly, and knows this program, worked with Coach Julian Richens. This is a St. Peter's team that does get outshot pretty heavily on a game-by-game basis. They're outshot on average 18-8. And I think that's part of the reason why they've been outscored, especially recently.
Yeah, and usually that's a result of not holding possession of the ball. When you are playing defense, you're sitting back a little bit. You're giving the other team a lot more space in their attacking third, which garners more shots. And what we're seeing here with Manhattan right now, Henry Hamilton is basically the cog in that center midfield. It looks like they're trying to play him, and he's the true number 10, trying to slot balls through, trying to be creative.
And it's big for this team when they're able to have somebody like a Studenoff where he can, facilitate it and get it to him.
Yeah. It's a game changer.
Into the 18. Played out by Hare. And here is Paventi. Long ball, looking for Strell. Now we're seeing Hamilton right in the middle of that field. And they're getting it to him, and he's trying to facilitate. But we talked about the targets just having to change now and some of the alternatives. And maybe look to Sebastian Musu as a potential player who could step up.
Yeah, and Musu, looks to be a little bit playing the number 8 maybe, playing in midfield. And they're looking to find his feet as well. We talk about the number 9 and how Hamilton is trying to get him the ball, but the 9 position also helps the 10. When they receive the ball, they'll create space by knocking it back into the 10, give the 10 a little bit more breathing room. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works out here tonight.
Well, foul called against Manhattan. It will be Skeen who will take this free kick. In a somewhat dangerous area. It's a team that really prides themselves on their set pieces, but that one was wide and no one was cutting toward the post. That was one of the things that Coach Jordan Scott talked about in our pregame conversation, was watch out for the set pieces, because that's where St. Peter's can make some noise.
Yeah, and when you're struggling to score, you want to get as many set pieces as you can. If you're struggling to score off a run of play, it's your best opportunity.
Allows you to be pretty direct. Don't have to worry about anything else. Just go right over the top there and try to send something toward goal. And we already saw it on the throw-in from the far side earlier, where it was a set piece on a throw-in. You don't see it that often, but if you can create it, why not?
Yeah, no, and anytime, if you can create a set piece from a throw-in, it makes you so dangerous. It's hard to deal with. You can place the ball exactly where you want, typically from a throw-in. And it's just you constantly have to be on your toes watching it and be in that stressful defensive positioning.
Bumalala. Over for Sane. Crossed in and sent out by Clemson. Played in by Bumalala. And back out. Aki. Good give and go. Gets it to Hamilton. But taken away by Clemson. We're seeing him time and time again defensively and now starting things on the offensive end. It's actually Skeen now. Tony Yeboah out of Ghana gets to it first. Hamilton couldn't settle it on the first touch. And it goes out for a goal kick. Beautiful night for soccer here.
Certainly is.
Lights are on at Gaelic Park. In Gaelic Park, the home of the Jaspers for numerous sports. They got the softball field here. You've got soccer. You've got lacrosse.
The train in the background.
There's an ambiance to it.
Oh, it's a great atmosphere for soccer.
And quite a large stands on that far sideline as well. And we've seen a lot of games where that place is packed. Had MAC championships here for lacrosse. And that entire side will be absolutely packed to the brim. Given away. Musu wins that one off the dribble, trying to set it in. It was denied on the goal line.
Wow. Musu. What a job creating that chance, that opportunity.
Fodstad working with Paventi. It's out of Fodstad's reach, and we'll go for a throw. And we've talked about it. This might be a situation where St. Peter's tries to set up a set piece, and they do. All bodies headed toward the box. Clemson setting up out of bounds, going to try to make a run to the ball. Trying to get that first header on it, and it's cleared. Good defending by DeHaan. One goes out for a goal kick. Skeen on the corner kick. It's a low cross on the outside of the goal. And this is what happened on the play where Sebastian Musu creates space. A great stop right on that goal line. But St. Peter's keeps this one at 0-0. And it comes courtesy of the junior Christian Hare right on that goal line. DeHaan. And cleared back for Blondeau. When we were talking with Coach Scott before the game, he was really emphasizing how his back four had been injured earlier in the season. They finally got guys back now. And he said, you know, you've got better players, you're able to win a lot of games. That's the case.
Funny how that works, right?
Cross into the box. Oh, that was off the crossbar. Oh, a perfect cross, and DeHaan couldn't quite beat both Alvis and the crossbar. Aki still on the ball. Left foot, try to send it in.
And that's Musu again. Taking on a player out there, beating him, and getting great cross across.
And that was part of the game plan. It was talking about getting it wide and crossing it in, and we've seen it already and couldn't quite finish it. Off the crossbar. DeHaan out of Israel played all 90 minutes last match against Niagara with the absence of Studenoff.
And just a little difference in tactics where you see Manhattan really trying to play this ball around, getting it wide, getting it across, where St. Peter's, when they get it, they go. They go as fast as they want to get a shot, it looks like, off of each possession. That's how fast they're going up the field.
DeHaan gets it for Sane, sends it across, and Alvis was there. Pedro Alvis out of Brazil had a clean sheet against Niagara, but first let's take a look at this cross. Musu got it for DeHaan. Off the crossbar. He beat Alvis. Didn't beat the crossbar. It's still 0-0.
Goalkeeper's best friend.
Unless it betrays you. Well, whistle for an offside.
That's a good job by Manhattan's defense, stepping with the ball. It automatically, when you're organized like that, automatically pulls the other team off sides unless they're aware of it.
Be a throw in for the Jaspers.
St. Peter's, they're okay with Manhattan knocking the ball back. They're not putting any pressure. They're basically defending from 45 yards and in.
Yeah.
You know, so they're sitting back a little bit, looking for that counterattack.
And it makes sense. I mean, that's sort of what they're basing their entire attack on. And as we talked about earlier, you're going to get outpossessed, you're going to get outshot. But if your quality of chances is better, then that's what counts.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to see the stats. How many goals have they given up late in games because of how much running they've done throughout the 90 minutes?
Yeah. Tom Clemson gets it for Fodstad. Long shot. And DeMarco is there for the save.
Now they're picking him up higher.
He's applying a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. You're seeing, at least on this left side of the field, Manhattan pushing their back all the way up as a forward.
Yep. And Manhattan, for now, just seems content to work it along that back line.
Yeah, look what they've done. They've worked it, back and forth probably 3, 4, 5 times and moved up the field probably 15, 20 yards.
But now they lose possession. And a throw in for the Peacocks. Coming up on 21 minutes gone by here in the first half. And possession clearly favoring the Jaspers. Chances with that header off the crossbar favoring the Jaspers, but the Peacocks have been alive as well. And they're struggling to find that pass into the box.
Yeah.
I think that's when a player like Studenoff can open that up.
That's right. And just look at the field right now. You have 1, 2, 3, you have basically 10 players underneath the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard to find that pass in the box when it's so condensed like that and so compact.
This is parking the bus to an extent.
Yeah, a little bit.
And usually parking the bus is when a team that probably isn't quite as good, whether it's talent-wise, will try to play up to the better team's level and keep score lines close. I'm not sure that's the case here necessarily with St. Peter's, but maybe more so if you've got a guy like Studenoff in the lineup when there's a talent difference here. But I think St. Peter's can really compete with Manhattan, but they'd probably just rather play direct here.
Yeah, agreed. Technically they look fine, right? They can pass, they can possess the ball, they can pass it. Just giving themselves the best opportunity to win the game.
Long ball, try to get it to Paventi, but it's out of his reach. I mean, we don't have the Cayman Islands taking on England here.
Thankfully.
So maybe Studenoff may have something to say about that.
I don't know. I think Harry Maguire might be a little bit bigger.
Don't underestimate the Cayman Islands, I'm telling you.
Studenoff, I think, is used to bullying people because of his size.
For those of you who missed it earlier, Studenoff playing for the Cayman Islands men's national team. He is with Manhattan today, but not suited up because of a pair of red cards on the year. Sitting a 2-game suspension. Things going quiet right now for the Jaspers. Both teams sort of starved of chances. A lot of play toward the midfield in the last few minutes.
Yeah, St. Peter's doing a better job, higher pressure, and further up the field.
Denise. Taken back by Ormerod. Paventi. Oh, strong tackle by Bumalala. Long ball trying to find Yeboah, but whistled for offside. That's the pass they're looking for.
Yeah. Quick, one touch, settle it and knock it. By Hamilton, great job finding him. Just looked to be half step offsides. Yeboah looks to have some pace to get behind there.
Yeah, Yeboah's got a couple goals on the year. Dahan out of Israel still looking for his first goal. Nearly had it in the early minutes of this match.
I mean, realistically, their best opportunity.
Yeah. Henry Hamilton fires. Comes right in on Alvis.
You may want to float some more up to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it certainly couldn't hurt. Sane. Denise. Musu lost control. DeMarco sends it away. Yeah, we've seen sort of what we expected as far as style of play, set pieces, and sort of what this match asked for. But no one able to get the opening tally yet. Aki ahead for DeHaan. And a foul called against St. Peter's.
And it's fun watching contrasting styles.
Yeah. For sure, and that's what this match is.
Yeah.
A more possession-based team. Although, look, they're going to try to find that one pass inside, and that's what St. Peter's is going to try to defend all night. Musu was looking for someone to cut, and no one did. Your early statistics in this one: 2 shots apiece, 1 on goal for each side, 1 corner for each team. Manhattan, the only team that's been whistled for a foul so far. Alvis sends that away. It looked promising for a moment. Here comes Skeen. Tried to get it ahead to Paventi. And whistled for a foul. And there is a yellow card coming out. As Sane, the one whistled for the yellow card. And still down on the pitch, it's Paventi, as things were looking dangerous for a moment.
I would say that is what you call a professional foul, because he looked in. He looked like he was going to get an opportunity off of that. I think he's lucky to get away with a yellow there.
Could have been a red.
Goal scoring opportunity, a little far out.
Yeah, the question, I guess, is how clear is that chance should he get the ball?
Yeah. And there was probably somebody behind him.
Yeah. There's being a free kick coming up. It was borderline. Getting another look at this one. There was a player behind, which makes that a little more difficult and less clear cut. If there's no one behind the ball, behind Sane, then you probably have a red card there.
Yeah. Yep. But because of that player was back there.
Well, it's still a free kick. And Reece Skeen from Kent, England, had a goal against St. John's earlier this year. Appears poised to take it. There is a bit of a wall up for the Jaspers. Do you see this as a move to goal or a ball into the box?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's a ball in the box. I'm thinking if you can get it between the 6 and the 12 on the far side of the goal.
Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity. The wall should theoretically be cutting off that near side. With DeMarco there on the far side of the goal.
He looks like he might be lining it up for a shot.
Skeen steps into it. He runs right into that wall. Hit him about chest high, so wasn't particularly close. You can always try to go under the wall, too.
Yeah.
That's what we saw in the World Cup in that crazy match. Happens every once in a while.
Yeah, now you see, at least in the Premier League, with them laying down
behind the wall.
Yeah.
It prevents the pass underneath.
Yep.
You really got to time it well to get that under the wall.
Yes, yeah. Well, in the Premier League, you have so much skill for these guys getting it over the wall. They want to get as much height as possible.
Yeah. Skeen is going to try to make use of this free kick from beyond midfield. Well, serves it into the box. It's a good one. And it goes off of Manhattan. And it looks like we got a corner kick coming up. Very well done by Reece Skeen to serve that ball perfectly into the box. Oh my, we have got player down on the field and the referee calling out for medical staff. A player appears to be bleeding on the far side. The referee said, bring your whole kit. We're going to stop play until this is rectified. Doesn't appear as though in the coming seconds this is going to be solved. So players headed back toward team benches to an extent. We'll have to see what the move is here from the athletes. A couple of substitutes will be coming on as well, as the medical staff attends to the injured player. All we heard was the officials telling the medical staff, bring your whole kit. Just hope that the player who's down is just fine.
Look, he looked like he was up. Just, you get nicked in the head or the face. It just, you tend to bleed a lot.
Right.
Hopefully that's just a little nick for him.
Right. So it seemed to occur on the Skeen free kick, and nothing looked too out of the ordinary. Also going to be a change in who's taking the corner kick after Skeen's been taking all these. It's Vaughn. A couple of guys who banged heads, and that's going to happen sometimes. Ronan O'Brien for the Jaspers is going to check in. Well, we're stopped here with just under 16 minutes to go in the first half. And I think that might really break some momentum we were seeing from St. Peter's, because they were getting some opportunities off of these set pieces.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they'll do with this. If they're the last one we saw from this side, it was certainly driven near post.
Right. So it's Anthony Denise who exits with the head-to-head collision. And here's the look at Denise getting hit up high. And now we've got the corner kick knocked down. Not out of the woods yet as Vaughn fires it just wide. I think from our vantage point, it looked really close, though DeMarco seemed to be watching it intently go out.
Yeah, and talk about St. Peter's game plan there to a T. Set piece, anything can happen. Comes out, gets driven back in.
So initially, Vaughn went in for the corner kick, and Skeen came out, but it looks like they did it back to switcheroo, and Skeen ended up taking it anyway. But the result remains. And this is a Manhattan team 5-1 in MAC play, and again, once they got a lot of their players back, and the whole back line was injured throughout the non-conference schedule. So Manhattan doesn't have a win in the non-conference, but it's hard to tell where they really stack up with some of these other opponents because they were injured.
Yeah, talk about a coach's nightmare. Your starting back line all injured out at the same time. You know, one out at a time is not great, but easier to deal with than all four being out. And
exactly
attributed to some of their early losses. Certainly. Right. You know.
And for a team in the MAC, a lot of times it is sort of like that non-conference services of preseason schedule. I mean, if you're a Power 5 conference here and you know, those non-conference wins can make the difference between getting a bid in the tournament and not, that's a different situation. Low cross into the box, played out, not all the way out though. Sent back in, comes in on goal, and it was ruled for an offside. But O'Brien played it into the box. That one got to the back of the net, but the whistle was blown in time.
And again, right, set piece resulting in at least an opportunity.
Right.
Rebound off of somebody, you know, somebody half blocks it, pops up onto your foot. They all count the same, though, don't they?
They do. As long as there's not an offsides called beforehand.
True.
But we've seen teams, you know, play that extremely defensive style and come away with a couple counterattacks here and there. Think back to the 2022 World Cup when Saudi Arabia steals one from Argentina. And then Argentina, of course, rebounds and ends up winning the whole thing. But lesser teams can beat better teams. It's just if you play the cards right and get a little bit of luck here and there. And
yeah, listen, look at Mourinho, right? Like,
yeah.
With Manchester United, right? He didn't care how much possession the other team had. Just counter.
Right.
Just counter.
That was what he made his whole career off of.
Yeah. Still. Right? Still.
Exactly.
Although Serie A is a little bit more of a defensive league, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, a different caliber here. Here comes St. Peter's. Taken back by the Jaspers. Speaking of different leagues, the MLS, of course, I think they're just trying to hope to really get back and get to the top 10 maybe leagues in the world. That changes the landscape for American soccer. And, of course, the World Cup coming to the U.S. in 2026. I think there's hope that it could drive more interest. But it's tough to lure players away from these European countries.
Oh,
especially in their prime.
Absolutely. Just the fandom. You know, the I'll call them cathedrals that they're playing in every weekend. And then you add the Champions League on top of that.
I think it might have to start with being able to keep your own players, but they want to go out and play in Europe and play in the best leagues in the world.
Yeah, I mean, if you watched the game last night with U.S. play Ghana, 4 goals in the first half with Gio Reyna looking unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, and that's due to the fact that he's in Germany at 15, 16 years old.
Right.
You know, Pulisic with a goal in Germany, 15, 16 years old.
Right. Nearly got dangerous as Yaboa charging in quickly. But those are difference makers. And, I mean, you have guys like Matt Turner who are homegrown, but he's in Europe as well. He's playing in the Premier League himself. So it's tough to find a situation when you've got your stars playing for NYCFC and the Red Bulls and, SC Kansas City or whoever.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if that's the situation, you probably don't see the growth.
Right. And we're talking Reina, we're talking Pulisic. They're special. They're special talents. I mean, MLS, if it's not a top 10 league in the world, it's certainly up there. It's
close.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's close.
Hard tackle right outside the box. I don't think it's a money problem. I think it's more of a willingness problem.
Willingness to stay?
To stay or to come.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? Look at some of the guys they have, right? I mean, they got the best player in the world playing in Miami.
It's true, right? But this is a tail end of a career move. We're not talking – he's not 27, right?
No, but look at who's the 10 from Newcastle. Played here for a couple of years.
There are players who come for a little while, but it's fewer, and I think you have to have more of those players.
Yeah, agreed. It would certainly up the ante on the league if you did.
And I think if you can get the MLS involved if you could theoretically get an MLS in the Champions League all of a sudden, the team we're talking futuristic here.
How great would that be?
But then it draws the league into conversation with those bigger leagues.
Absolutely.
And then you talk, okay, you need I think the World Cup really helps try to garner more interest, but I think we're a ways away from that.
You know what's amazing is the average attendance.
It's good.
It's really good, right?
I mean, there's some teams that are lagging a little behind, but by and large, it's good.
Yeah. Yep.
And some teams you've seen peak and wane at different times, but I mean, I think there's as much of an interest in a player as there's a team. I mean, this whole Messi situation going on in the MLS, there's more interest in Messi than any given team. He shows up in town, tickets are going for $600. The next night they're for $16.
And everybody in the stadium has the Miami shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. Not much of a home match.
Some terrific combination play right there by Manhattan. Hamilton unlucky on that final pass. But I think the more time that Hamilton plays on the ball's at his feet, the more dangerous Manhattan is.
Well, here's a key. Outside of Musu. A key for Bumalala. Sane. Bumalala got up for Dahan. Taken away. Back to Dahan. Into the box. And finally cleared. Some sustained pressure there from the Jaspers. O'Brien knocked down. Trying to get that ball through, but whistling the foul. Sane sends it away. And DeMarco and this Manhattan team, again, willing to play slowly. That's what we've seen a lot of Probably last 15, 20 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, and you're looking at St. Peter's. They're playing with the two defensive midfielders in there, really trying to bottle up Hamilton.
It leads to a low-event match.
Yeah. It's hard to, it's hard to break down.
Yeah. You've got a team that's trying to weave a ball through and trying to weave a ball through 6 defenders.
Yes, yep.
That's
and they're
difficult.
organized, and they're doing, St. Peter's is doing a nice job with it.
We used the term park the bus earlier, and I think as this match has gone on, it's sort of borne itself into fruition.
Yeah.
Here's O'Brien. The idea has got to be trying to cross something like this in or send it in, but there are not a lot of numbers in the box.
Yeah, no, and if they're looking to send it in, do it early. Do it early before St. Peter's can get set. Once you take 2 or 3 touches, the defense is set. It's hard to break down at that point.
And that's what Musu did so well when he got rid of it quickly last time. Conflict, no foul. This one comes in. And couldn't quite break through, but it was a terrific opportunity for the Jaspers. Tony Yeboah out of Ghana got in really close on Alvis, but couldn't put it away.
Yeah, great effort there. He didn't. All he did was try to toe it. Just get anything on it to slip it past the keeper. Keeper did a great job collapsing.
Oh, quick touch, Paventi. Hare. Off the crossbar. Oh my, it was tracked well by DeMarco, but it hit crossbar in the process. Sane sends it away. Here's Yeboah. On the edge of the 18, try to cross it through. He needs numbers to help him. Yeboah right on the edge of the box. Hamilton into the 18. There's Dahan. Dahan, I should say. Boyce crosses it in. Headed down, and O'Brien skies this away.
Well, we talk about St. Peter's counterattacking. That was a heck of a counterattack by Manhattan.
And it all came from one play there.
Yeah.
With Yeboah. Yeboah has been really active in the last few minutes.
Yeah, and how far did Senna run with that ball? 60 yards?
Yeah.
70 yards? Yeboah almost had an opportunity. But listen, the difference is Yeboah pulled it back, right? Mm-hmm. And looked for an opportunity.
Trying to get this ball ahead to Paventi. Wins the race to the ball. And he earns a corner kick in the process.
Paventi's been trouble, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing well up there. Don't give him too much space. I think he was the one that was fouled, too.
Right. He was. Skeen taking the corner kick. We've talked about the danger on set pieces. Low cross into the box. And cleared away by Blondu. Clemson boots it ahead, looking for Vaughn. Lex Vaughn hasn't been a terribly big piece so far. He has not made an impact here in the first half yet. Last minute here in the first half, and a 0-0 scoreline to go with it. Comes in toward goal, in the box, and a foul called against St. Peter's. Possibly a chance to send this one deep for one last opportunity for the Jaspers. Aki is getting pressured by Vaughn. I think that Jaspers are more than happy to sit on this one. They sent it away for one last try at Yeboah, but that's going to do it here to end the first half. No score between the Jaspers and the Peacocks as we...
I don't think we call his name once.
I could call his name once.
Yeah, yep.
He was our player to watch for St. Peter's. 5 points in the last 5 matches. He had assists in 3 straight at one point, but silent. I think part of that comes from the fact that they didn't possess the ball much, so your chances are what your chances are, but really kept out of the picture.
Yeah, and didn't really, like you said, didn't find him running.
Whereas 19 in blue, and here he is. There's Fodstad. Trying to work this one quickly, trying to get it inside Estrella and never got there. Back to Fodstad. Now looking to send Yeboah on his way, but coming way out Alvis to send it away. Clemson. Long ball, trying to get it to Musu. Hamilton now, knocked down at midfield. Wow. Collision at midfield, and it's Lex Vaughn, who we talked about moments ago, who finds himself down on the field, and he is grabbing his face right now, sort of the top of his head as well, as clearly in some significant pain as they collided.
Yeah, the right knee, and he's still grimacing.
And that's a look at also Julian Richens, the head coach for St. Peter's, who is noticeably concerned about his star attacker, Lex Vaughn. Yeah, it's a collision in midair. I'm not sure it's a foul, but and there's contact there, but it hits him up high. It's a soccer play.
Yeah, it was both guys going for the ball, 50-50. Looks like Lex came out on the wrong end of it.
Yeah. Oh, so it looked like the collision came up high, but he may have been that he fell on his right ankle. And he's not walking off. He is getting helped off the field. And I think it was more of a concerned look and an upset look on his face than one of pain maybe, that he realized something might have happened to his ankle there. And you look at, if you don't want to speculate on what that might be, but ankles are typically sprains come along with them.
Yeah, and the issue is he was hit when he was in the air, so it happened when he landed.
Right.
So, you'd rather it happen in the air because then it's just a knock instead of a twist or a hyperextension.
And you'd hope that this turf would help a little bit, but when you've got so much force and momentum coming down, it's not easy to deal with. Blondu. For a key. To the outside, there's Boyce. Gets it to Hamilton on the edge of the 18, knocked down. Musu taken down in the box, no call. Musu stays down on the field. There was collision, but not enough contact. And having a word with the official, and finally Musu comes up to his feet, and he's asking the referee, why was that not a foul? What do you see there?
I didn't see a foul. I didn't see a foul. He was turning, it looked like. As the tackle came in, I think that the ref would be hard-pressed to call that.
Yeah. And again, it's a different sort of level of what you need to call a penalty.
Yeah.
A small push in the box is not going to do it. The burden of contact you need is, well, a higher bar. Sort of like the burden of proof in the courtroom here.
Certainly. Especially, a tight game like this.
Yeah. Oh, here comes St. Peter's. Fodstad. Taken back, not enough juice on that pass. And here comes Hamilton. He's got some space to work with. Takes his time. Reverses field for Boyce. Gets a step, whips it into the box. Nicely cleared by Larson.
It's the second time they played that long ball out to the right flank.
And he's got all kinds of room. They just did it again. Boyce on the receiving end. Plays it as a volley and earns a throw-in. Played into Bumalala. Musu near that end line. And it looks like we're going to get a foul out of this against St. Peter's. Everybody's sort of throwing their hands up like, what's going on here? And it will be outside the box and a free kick. It's pretty close to the box, which is where there was some danger involved, but it is ruled outside the box. And Musu's saying, I'm in, I think, is what the argument has to be here. But no one's satisfied. First of all, St. Peter's is saying that it wasn't a foul, and the Jaspers are contending it's in the 18.
Age-old dilemma.
Yeah. Here's the cross in. Oh, just to the back post. Hamilton a header on it. And played away by St. Peter's. Paventi trying to run with it the other way. Finally goes out for a throw-in, but that was awfully dangerous in the 18.
Great ball, whipped in. Goalkeeper can't do anything about it. It's just coming in too hard. But Manhattan not getting a foot, toe. For that matter, you played across that hard. You're even looking for St. Peter's to get a toe on it and put it in their own goal.
Right. Just get a lucky break off of something like that.
Yeah. Anything can happen when you whip it in like that. It's a great ball. Musu's been really dangerous all night, though.
He has. Yeah. He's been really effective. And Hamilton has too.
Yeah. Yep.
They've been the two driving forces. The sort of issue has been they haven't had that attacking forward like a Studenoff to get the ball to it. And Yeboah has done something in his own right, and as has Dahan. But it's different when you've got Studenoff.
Yeah, certainly. Hamilton, I like to say he's doing it with his thinking. And Musu's doing it with his feet skill. You know, he's going 1v1 with his talent. You know,
Right.
not thinking is obviously a talent and a skill, but I think Musu's physical, Hamilton's mental.
Yep. And Bumalola taken down. And a yellow card is assessed. It goes against Reese Skeen. And we got a stoppage in play as well as player down on the pitch. Some contact there. We'll have to see. Is it worthy of the yellow card? There's it's enough there. Header into the box and called offside.
Again, a great ball whipped in. Unlucky not to get on the end of that.
And here's another look at that corner. And just again too far on the corner and even a step offside as well. That was the seemingly initial whistle was, but missed it on that last diving header.
But again, Musu putting in a terrific ball.
And now it'll be Skeen. But yeah, Musu's been, we've talked about him. He's played a big role so far. Skeen to the box. And grabbed out of midair by DeMarco. Well, it's 0-0 right now, and these teams are at risk of back-to-back shutouts. And for St. Peter's' case, 3 in a row. A 0-0 draw against Niagara back on October 11th. 4-0 loss at Iona. Here we are on October 18th, and St. Peter's does not have a goal in October.
As long as your team doesn't give up the goal, you're in a lot of games.
You are. It's a pretty clear push against Hamilton. Nothing called. Musu. Right along that end line, and he seemed to dribble out. It's a little surprised Hamilton wasn't a little more upset with that. It was a pretty clear push from behind.
Blatant, right? Blatant, yeah. Yep.
He didn't throw a fit, nothing.
No, very mature.
Well, that was certainly worthy of a foul. Maybe a yellow, maybe not, but at least a foul.
Yeah, they let him play advantage there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Once it goes out, though, what do you give it, 4 seconds before you pull it back?
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought so. I mean, there was just nothing there. And Musu had it for a second. This one nearly popped free for St. Peter's, battling forward in the 18. It was Fodstad there. And the whistle goes against the Peacocks. But it's that quick. Nearly poked loose for him, and the Peacocks could have had the opening goal. There have been chances in this match. They have seemingly come out of nowhere.
They really have.
Got to stay on your toes. That's what part of what soccer is all about, though.
But realistically, I think we've really seen just one save.
Yeah.
On Yeboah, right?
And here is Yeboah once more, but coming in for the clear, it's Clemson. Playing it quickly. Musu. To Boyce. I guess he's trying to send that ball across for Sane. It's going to go for a corner kick. It was deflected. I was going to say, I'm not quite sure who that was intended to.
That would be an incredible topspin if it wasn't.
I was taken for a loop there for a minute, and here comes Busu. Higher cross into the box, Skeen headed it away, and it's accompanied by a foul. So,
is it a foul or a goal kick?
Seemed to call a foul.
Looked like a foul.
Trying to get that one for Skeen, and some contact. It goes against Manhattan. Skeen's going to take this one again. He's been the most active threat for the Peacocks. He takes all their set pieces, and they've been good.
Yes, yeah.
Somehow, amongst all this, Skeen doesn't have an assist this year, which is kind of hard to believe based on the way he's played tonight. DeMarco comes out for the stop.
And the balls that he's played in?
Yeah. Yeboah. Applies the brakes. Curls it in. He was looking for Dahan. St. Peter's back on their way. Paventi. Gonna work a throw-in, and not enough numbers forward to really work a set piece, but they're gonna wait for him. And now here come the numbers. Long throw-in. Into the box, toward the back post, and DeMarco came out for the stop. Larson was ready for it, and what a punch that one in.
Great save, great. You get caught ball watching, you get caught up. He did a great job focusing on that ball, going and grabbing it.
They had all their numbers up, including defenders, and were ready in case that was missed by DeMarco, but he was all over it. Sane. Now look at that. Throw in for the set piece. They make all those set pieces dangerous. Every single time, it's an opportunity created by St. Peter's. And just in the general course of play, there hasn't been anything particularly threatening from the Peacocks, but they make those set pieces count.
Yeah, any throw within 25.
And another yellow card assessed. This time Blondo is the one who is... Oh, we've got a potential, just the booking. And they've stopped the clock as well. It's a bit of a collision, and a bit of a strong tackle from Blondo. I didn't think it was maybe yellow card worthy, but he gets one. Yeah, it was a foul.
I think Fodstad, played a little bit into that, right? Gave the yell at the end, and the yellow.
Academy Awards.
A little bit. Right. Soccer players have been known to
yeah.
throw themselves around a little bit.
No question about that. Down on the ground, screaming, and up 7 seconds later.
We've had a couple of those here tonight.
Seen worse, though.
100%. The worst, right, was Neymar in the World Cup.
Happened a lot. I guess at some point you just throw yourself down on the ground enough and you hope you get lucky and get a PK out of it or something.
Buy a call.
Ball was played in for Ormerod. Close to connecting there.
Yeah, St. Peter's doing a really nice job of closing that in and winning that ball back. Good job pressuring, good job staying organized and winning that tackle.
Skeen wins space. He trying to play that through, looking for someone to cut to the ball, but no one did. Fodstad was just outside the 18.
Yeah, and I think Manhattan will be okay if that's where St. Peter's chances come from.
Yeah.
A little far out, I'll say optimistic.
We noted this earlier, just to remind fans, St. Peter's coming off of a 0-0 draw and a 4-0 defeat. It's 0-0 here. Could be 3 straight clean sheets against their offense. For Manhattan, a 1-0 loss at Niagara. And again, without a goal here in the second half. Watch out. Here is Fodstad. Fodstad wins the race, and there's the opening goal right on cue for St. Peter's. The drought is over, and the Peacocks have a lead in the second half.
Exactly their game plan. Sit back, counterattack, find Fodstad with a clinical finish. Great job taking it down off his chest.
It's as direct as it comes.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a ball forward. Fodstad's there, settles it, deposits it. I'd love to see what the tactics are going to look like from here.
Well, just like the coach has written it up, right? He couldn't ask for a better goal there.
Well, the goal comes for the Peacocks. It's a critical one. As far as the finish is concerned, it's a good finish, but 1v1 against the keeper, and your chances are kind of limited.
Yeah.
But for St. Peter's, you've got your 1-0 lead. You've already been parking the bus. I mean, maybe just park it set even more guys into the box defensively.
Bring even more people back. One goal, that's all you needed.
It keeps you in matches, too. You play a defensive style. You're never going to find yourself down big, with the exception of that Iona loss. But typically, you won't find yourself down by a large margin. Trying to get it to Yeboah, but couldn't connect. And when you're down a guy like Studenoff, what ends up happening is he's not covered. Well, he would be covered, which would open up some other targets. Guys like Yeboah, guys like Musu as potential targets. But when he's not there, all the additional pressure goes to these what would otherwise be secondary targets.
100%. But listen, once a player goes down, next man up, right?
That's what it's got to be.
I'm sure coaches hear it all the time. Hey, how can I get more playing time? Hey, I want to play more. Here's your opportunity.
That's it. And opportunities arise throughout the course of the season. Guys go down. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Play a contact sport that's high on soft tissue. And Musu is fouled. He's asking for a card. The referee says, don't ask for the card, you'll get the card.
what we've seen tonight so far. It's Busu, really it's probably him that's going to be active in a goal for Manhattan. There's going to be
into the 18. Yeboah might have gotten a foot on it, and he sent it well over the crossbar. If he settled that ball, we could be looking at a 1-1 match.
Yeah, that was a twist with the trying just to nudge it in, flick it off his right foot. Very difficult to do. But again, Musu with a terrific ball.
Yeah, really, really good.
So dangerous, out of the keeper's range, over the defense, bending ball.
Swan comes back in to the 6-yard box, and DeMarco's got it. It took one chance. St. Peter's cashed in. Fodstad has the opening goal for the Peacocks in a 1-0 match. A Manhattan team that when they've got a healthy group, and they've got guys like Studenoff, and the back line's there, undefeated in MAC play, but at the risk of falling 0-2 without him and 5-2 overall.
Yeah, talk about how important he is to your team.
Right. Doesn't get much more clear-cut than that. 5-0 with him, 0-2 without him.
Yeah, good learning experience for him.
They're not done yet. There's still time, but they've struggled to really produce grade A chances here in the second half. It can change at the drop of a hat, though. Sent into the box and cleared. Sane here on the throw. Looking for Dahan. Curls this one into the 18 and smothered by Alvis. Boyce on the throw. Back for Boyce. Bumalala. Yeboah. He took a shot from outside the 18. Musu. Oh, and he hit his own player inside the box. Oh, that might have been going for the back of the net.
From our vantage point, it sure looked like it was on target.
It was Bumalala who was in the 18. Oh, Musu settling again inside the box. Some fancy footwork to boot. Toward that end line, gonna chip it in. A bicycle kick is wide. Oh, that was awfully close. It was Dahan in the 18 who almost had the highlight reel of the night.
Wow. What? Talk about acrobatic and out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Holy.
Musu into the 18. Alvis on top of that one. Throws it out far. Clemson. Oh, not even remotely close to Paventi, who was the intended target. O'Brien, and the chances are starting to come a little bit more for the Jaspers. Their passes are cleaner. Boyce now. And no one was home. I think he was looking for Yeboah that time. But no one really in the area at all. Well, the Peacocks make a substitution. John Halgren enters. And Samoy exits. It's actually 21. Sean Cadigan who exits. Looking for Fodstad again. It works once, why not go back to him? Time starting to become a factor. It's about 20 minutes remaining on that clock, and there's time for two, but first you need one.
Yeah. Yeah, and as this game goes on, St. Peter's are going to have more opportunities just because of Manhattan pushing forward.
Their game is the counter, and you're going to start pushing further and further ahead. You're going to have more and more chances toward the back post. Strell was there. Should have gotten to him. Dahan. Tried a through ball for Hamilton. Just off the mark.
Yeah, I think Hamilton wanted that probably about 2 touches sooner, 3 touches sooner.
A borderline offsides as well. I'll give you an update on some of the stats right now. 7-5 in shots in favor of St. Peter's. 4-3 shots on goal. Musu dispossessed. Hamilton. Strong tackle by Larson. Ooh, that was awfully dangerous as a head toward goal. It's from an awkward angle, but really squeaked in that top corner.
Inventive, right? Inventive left foot. I think it caught the goalie by surprise.
Yeah. Well, David Medina, the freshman midfielder for the Jaspers, in. And Ziv Dahan from Israel out, number 25. He has put together an impressive performance tonight on a couple of important situations. A header off the crossbar, and he created a lot of other commotion in the box. Medina from New York. And talked about the international presence for this Manhattan team. But some homegrown players as well. A mix of different cultures and groups for this team that's come together and put together a strong season up until this point. 5 wins, 5 losses, and a couple of draws, but at risk of falling below 500 on the season with a 1-0 deficit.
What a credit to the culture, to the coaches with the culture, bringing different kids, different men from different walks of life.
Right. Different life experiences.
Yep.
And a dangerous free kick from the sideline that I think is all but certain she bent into the box. Skeen has been very dangerous on these so far. Curving ball. And it's sent out along the end line for a goal kick. Again, time really starting to play a factor now. Close in on 30 minutes into this second half, toward that 75th minute, and then when you get there, I mean, it's crunch time.
Well, plus the fact you haven't been able to break the pressure all game.
Right.
And St. Peter's will sink in a little bit. They haven't yet, but I imagine in the next couple minutes they'll sink in a little bit more.
Yeah. Trying to get that ball to Skeen down the sideline. And a foul called against the Peacocks. Yeah, but not being able to break the pressure, you're looking for an answer when you haven't found one all night.
Yeah.
Trying to get that to Musa. Good first touch. Stays on the ball with two defenders. Drops from Medina, sends it into the box. Hamilton tries to get there, falls down, and that one's sent about 60 yards away. And allows that Peacocks defense to inch further up. Force Manhattan to gain the territory when time's a factor. It's a good cross by Medina, though.
It's a great cross. You know, little bit more communication between Hamilton and I think it was Yeboah. Given, you know, to me that Hamilton's got to be on the end of that and striking that, and just didn't. The two players just didn't communicate well enough.
Musu on the run. Sliding tackle will be a Manhattan throw-in. They have not used the set piece off the throw-in. They've gone with a quick throw-in strategy. Looking for Yeboah. Did not get a good first touch on it and cleared quickly. Boyce now. Medina for O'Brien. Back to Boyce. Good ball for Musu. O'Brien and Musu play catch. And sent away for a free kick. John Hallgren, the sophomore defender, sent it out. Musu will take the corner kick. Who's going to make a run here toward it? Musu. Good curving ball into the box. Clemson got a header on it. Second header, but right back to Musu. Not a good first touch, though. And sent out will be a Manhattan throw-in. I think St. Peter's might have gotten away with a lucky bounce on Musu, who could have really spurred another chance into the box. Everything's run through him. And now it's a free kick. This is something about the college game that is not my favorite. When you're chasing the clock and the clock doesn't stop, you got to run, get the ball, throw it. I think they might need to adopt what the college football game has when the clock stops, maybe final 10 minutes of each half. So when dangerous into the box, couple players down. But on any sort of throw-in or free kick, the clock stops. Because otherwise, you got this crazy throwing it. I mean, and there's no added time. So the other one, when you're chasing down a corner kick because there are only 15 seconds left. And we got another foul. Yeboah knocked down. This one in dangerous territory. And now the clock stops. Not a lot of contact there. Not enough for a yellow card either. And
he gave him.
Oh, he did? I beg your pardon. A yellow card is given.
Yeah. I was with you.
Didn't seem to be a lot as the ball got to Yeboah.
And I think he believed what we believed at first, but as he kept thinking about it, he finally reached into his pocket.
I mean, there's a little bit there. Musu now bends it in toward that near post. All of this read it. There wasn't quite enough pace for him to beat him. That was close. We talked about this a little earlier, but when we spoke with Jordan Scott before the game, he said this offense has been built around Studenoff. So I can't say it's terribly surprising that when the guy you built your offense around is out, you have trouble scoring goals.
100%. And look at the quality of the services that have been put in the box. I mean, great services. I mean, you have to think a 6'3", 190-pound forward in there getting on the end of those.
Right.
Spoke about a little theatrics before.
Yeah, exactly. Paventi goes down, and he's saying, "Where's my call?" I think the second there was contact, he went down pretty quickly. But
always the added yell at the end too.
That's right. Can't get away from that. St. Peter's win the ball back. Cottigan pressuring Ormerod. Brian Gomez on it now. Back for Ormerod. And now trying to get numbers the other way. And it's offside. Yeboah had broken away on what was a very close play. You could see the ball was coming from a mile away. And it was close, but I think he was offside.
Yeah, I think the linesman got it right.
He just didn't time his run perfectly. If he waits maybe an extra quarter second or less than that even.
Waits or runs parallel,
yeah,
and then break on the ball.
Under 10 minutes to go. Manhattan still searching for answers. They'll turn to James Lucas, who's set to come into the match. It's a nice opportunity for St. Peter's to continue draining time.
Yes.
As well as create something off this free kick. They get a goal here, it's away. This match is all wrapped up.
Yep.
So and there is no rush here.
Yeah, refs keeping a tight eye on the clock. He stopped it.
So now, so they did stop the clock.
He did, yeah.
And I sort of prefer that than sort of letting the clock run. Because, again, there is no added time. When this clock hits 0, that's it. No mas. Skeen sent it in. It was a good curving ball, but no header on the end.
I'll tell you, the quality of the services on both sides tonight on these set pieces have been tremendous.
James Lucas comes in. And it will be Aki who comes out here in the final moments. He's played all 90 minutes in each of the last 5 matches. Only have about 80 today, as Manhattan is intent to send everything forward. Medina, and it goes out. 8 minutes remaining. O'Brien. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Lucas, who just entered with some fresh legs. This is a team in Manhattan right now that is thin. They don't have a lot of options off the bench because of injuries. They hope to get healthy next couple of weeks, but it's kind of a long road there. And if you're going to find a way to host a spot in this MAC tournament, you got to win. You'd have to think 2 of the next 3 matches at a minimum. And again, they have 9 points left. That's what's on the table. 9 points, 3 matches after tonight. You'd have to think you got to get at least 6. Minimum. Might need more. Otherwise, you're playing a play-in match. Boyce curves it ahead. Looking for Yeboah, who has not really been all that active tonight. A mistimed run on what could have been. He had a chance in tight in the first half. That's about all that we've seen tonight. Handball.
You know, I think Manhattan's got to start taking the play from St. Peter's and just driving balls into the. They have to get the ball up into the box.
Pomalala fouled, and now it will be a free kick. But it seems like the tempo might be a little lackadaisical working around that back line. You got to create something sooner or later.
Yeah, get it up as quick as possible.
Medina. Hamilton tried to get it to O'Brien. Not a good first touch. Hamilton knocked down. What's our call here? And is it going to be a penalty kick? He points to the spot. Oh, St. Peter's cannot believe it. And they stop the clock. Oh, my. Unbelievable. And how this started. And this is a close play. It's not a ton there. I mean, we've seen some on both sides today, but Hamilton's going to take the PK, try to tie this match. Henry Hamilton from New Zealand looking for his 4th goal on the year to tie it, steps into it, and he scores. And now we've got a bit of a scuffle coming together. An eccentric celebration from Hamilton. And Alvis is not happy. Well, we're level at 1 now. And the celebration after the goal, and he just goes to the left. And then he waves the goalkeeper favor. And teams taking exception to it. And now he's saying it's the you see me. I think he thought he was like waving him forward. As if to say, come meet me out here, let's go. something like that. But it was merely a "you see me" that was, I think, a little bit lost in communication in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. The first misstep we've seen Hamilton do all night, right? I mean, he's been pushed over, he's been kicked. Late in the game, stressful situation.
You're right. We saw him. He was pushed from behind earlier, just took it and got right up.
Yeah.
On what was seemingly a clear foul. And now he gets the PK goal, and the attitude is taking a 180. Well, it's 1-1 now, folks, and 5 minutes to go. There's time for a second for either the Peacocks or the Jaspers. Didn't look like there was a ton there to earn the penalty kick in the first place, but after what had seemingly seemed like it was a game where the referee had just sort of let him play, and I thought he'd done really quite a good job, frankly. It's a rivalry matchup, between Northern Jersey here in New York, the Bronx, and it seemed like things were played rather similar as far as where they stand right now in a critical match and a relatively evenly played match, and then boom, in the last 5 minutes here, just over 5 minutes to go, and a PK to tie it for the Jaspers. Long ball, trying to get it to Musu. Musu knocked down, no call. Hamilton now with the left foot. Oh, Albus leaping out of the air to make the stop.
We were talking about it before, is buying fouls.
Yeah. Hamilton gives for Medina. O'Brien now. Sane. Upfield. Here's Lucas. Bumalala. Two and a half minutes to go. And the Jaspers with a free kick. Do they have 3 points up their sleeve? It's a question we weren't fathoming only a few minutes ago.
That's right.
And remember, fans, no overtime this year in college soccer. Some of the rules put in place by the NCAA to try to match the professional game a little bit more closely. And as a result, those 2 10-minute overtime periods aren't here. So 2.5 minutes from now, and that will be the end of the match, no matter what the score is. Nicely volleyed down. Boyce. Quickly for Sane. Left foot. Trying to get it to Musu, who have reverse sides of the field here. Sane was on the far side. He's coming to the near side, and now Musu was on the far side of the pitch. Now it's a corner kick after all that. Under 2 minutes. Again, clock doesn't stop on a typical corner kick. That header is just over the bar, and it will be a goal kick. Now, those are sorts of plays I'd love it if the clock would stop maybe last 2 minutes on a corner kick, because otherwise you're running to the spot. You're just sort of haphazardly throwing it toward the box, and you lose any semblance of what the game's about.
Yep, and if the ball person isn't doing their job correctly, and you got to run out and get the ball. It wastes a lot of time at the most critical part of the game.
Right. So I think there's just room for work to be done on that. Would I prefer a traditional running clock? Maybe. I mean, that would match the professional game much more closely. But with the current format as is, I think you at least have to have these stoppages in the last minute. But they're not doing that. And now the clock really starting to tick down on this match. 1 minute to go. Here's O'Brien. Chips it into the box. Musu's bicycle is just wide. Oh, he almost had the highlight reel finish.
Oh, but what an effort. What an effort. Ah, if only.
Oh, my. Would have been the play of the year here in the MAC. And would have secured 3 points for the Jaspers, but it would have been a play remembered forever. Final 30 seconds here. Unless St. Peter's has something miraculous up their sleeves, this should probably be it. Final 15. And the countdown over the loudspeakers are going to try to generate something into the box. 3 seconds, 2, and 1. Skeens fires. It's a little bit wide, and there it is. This match ends